Raise your hand.
What is the absolute limit of human endurance? We often think of strength or speed. What if the ultimate test isn't about moving at all? What if you were asked to simply stand perfectly still for 24 hours? This question opens up a fascinating exploration into the boundaries of our physical and mental capabilities. It's just you, gravity, and the ticking clock. But as soon as you start to seriously consider it, the hidden complexities begin to emerge. It's a profound battle against our own biology. The challenge of absolute stillness pushes us to reconsider what endurance truly means. Standing still for an entire day is a direct contradiction to our fundamental design. We will dive deep into what actually happens to a person, both physically and psychologically. Can a human being actually stand motionless for 24 hours? Let's find out together. Before we dive into the hour-by-hour breakdown, let's set the stage for the journey ahead. This isn't just a simple yes or no question. The answer is wrapped in layers of physiology, psychology, and some surprising medical risks that most of us would never even consider. We'll start by looking at the immediate physical demands. We'll investigate how gravity, a force we rarely think about, becomes your primary antagonist in this motionless marathon. We will explore the mechanics of blood circulation and why standing still poses such a unique threat to how blood flows through your veins, especially in your lower limbs. After tackling the physical side, we will shift our focus to the battlefield of the mind. The psychological hurdles are, in many ways, even more daunting than the physical ones. Imagine the sheer, unadulterated boredom of standing in one spot for a full day and night. We'll explore how the brain copes with such a profound lack of stimulation, and the mental fortitude required to resist the overwhelming urge to quit. We will hear from endurance experts and mindfulness gurus to understand the strategies they use to conquer monotony and maintain focus over impossibly long durations. It's a mental game of chess where your opponent is your own consciousness. Of course, no exploration of extreme human limits would be complete without understanding the genuine dangers involved. This is where we get into the hard science of what can go wrong. We'll break down serious medical conditions like deep vein thrombosis, where blood clots can form in your legs, and the phenomenon of syncope, or fainting, which becomes a very real possibility. We will look at scientific studies that have examined the effects of prolonged static standing on the human body, revealing risks that are both fascinating and sobering. This isn't just about discomfort, it's about pushing the body to a point where it can begin to fail in dangerous ways. Finally, we'll bring this all to life with the stories of those who have actually tried it. We will look at official Guinness World Records for static endurance, learning from the techniques and struggles of the champions. We will also explore controlled experiments where volunteers have been monitored by scientists, providing invaluable data on the human capacity for stillness. From viral internet challenges to documented feats of incredible self-control, these real-world examples will provide the ultimate context for our question. By the end, we'll have a comprehensive answer, weighing all the factors to determine if standing still for 24 hours is a feat within human reach. The first hour might feel deceptively easy. You find your spot, plant your feet, and begin the long wait. But beneath the surface, your body starts a quiet rebellion against this unnatural stillness. Gravity immediately becomes your adversary. Your circulatory system faces its first major hurdle, getting blood from your feet back up to your heart. As you creep into the second and third hours, the consequences of this circulatory slowdown begin to manifest. Blood starts to pool in the veins of your lower legs. By the time you reach the 4-hour mark, the initial discomfort has likely blossomed into genuine pain. Your muscles begin to ache profoundly. The challenge has now transformed from a mental test of patience into a physical battle. Every signal from your body is screaming for relief. This initial phase is a critical filter. Crossing the 8-hour mark means you're deep into a full workday of standing still. The swelling in your legs and feet is pronounced and painful. Joint pain evolves into a sharp grinding sensation, especially in your knees and lower back. Muscle fatigue reaches a critical stage. Leg muscles begin to experience involuntary tremors. Constant strain can also lead to muscle cramps. Nerve endings in your feet are under immense pressure, potentially leading to neuropathy. You might experience tingling or numbness. By this stage, every system in your body is under duress and actively breaking down. The swelling, spasms, and nerve pain indicate you're far outside safe limits, requiring extreme pain tolerance. Entering the final stretch, hour 16 onwards means you are now in the true danger zone. The physical challenges have escalated to potentially life-threatening situations. The most significant risk is the formation of a deep vein thrombosis, or DVT. As you approach 20 hours, another severe risk becomes increasingly probable: fainting. The immense strain on your muscles can lead to rhabdomyolysis, potentially leading to acute kidney failure. By the time the 24-hour clock finally runs out, the person who completes the challenge would be in a state of extreme physical distress. They would have pushed their body past multiple physiological breaking points, flirting with serious medical emergencies like blood clots and kidney failure. The physical cost of standing perfectly still for an entire day is immense. As the physical pain grows, a new battle erupts inside your mind. The novelty of stillness fades fast, replaced by a harsh mental landscape. You're trapped with your thoughts, the clock crawling, doubt whispering, "Why keep going?" This is where the challenge becomes psychological, a test of resilience. The brain, starved of stimulation, turns on itself. Small worries balloon, silence amplifies every negative thought. Pain and anxiety feed off each other, dominating your awareness. Enduring isn't just about toughness, it's about managing relentless negative input. You must build a mental fortress, compartmentalize pain or rise above it. Willpower is tested. Can your mind override your body's desperate pleas to stop? The real war is in your head. Win there and you stand a chance. Lose focus and the challenge is over. The mental prison is the ultimate adversary. Once pain is accepted, boredom becomes the enemy. With no stimulation, your mind starves for input, looping in circles. Monotony can be as torturous as pain, sometimes worse. The brain, desperate, may invent sensations, shifting patterns, phantom sounds. This is your mind struggling to fill the void. To cope, some disassociate, retreating into memories or daydreams. Others hyper-focus on a single sensation, like breathing. Both are mental survival tactics. The real test: can you keep your mind stable and occupied alone for 24 hours? If boredom wins, your resolve crumbles. Beating boredom is essential to enduring the challenge. In the final hours, survival demands deep inner strength. Willpower alone isn't enough. You need a powerful reason to continue. For some, it's a personal promise. For others, a quest for self-mastery. This motivation must drown out pain and exhaustion. Enter the zone, a state where pain fades into the background. Here, you observe discomfort without judgment, becoming a neutral witness. This mental shift is the key to enduring the unbearable. Completing the challenge is a triumph of mind over body. The strongest mind, not the strongest body, prevails. True victory is conquering your own consciousness. Standing still puts your circulatory system in crisis. Without movement, blood pools in your legs, venous stasis sets in. Edema is just the start. The real danger is deep vein thrombosis, blood clots that can travel and kill. The heart strains to compensate, risking arrhythmias or cardiac events, especially in those with hidden conditions. Blood pressure drops, making fainting likely a dangerous fall risk. The body enters a state of cardiovascular emergency with no relief. Even the lymphatic system stalls, worsening swelling and infection risk. The simple act of not moving becomes a silent, hour-by-hour threat. Every system is under siege. The risks are real, severe, and escalate with every minute. Stillness is far from harmless. Prolonged stillness wreaks havoc on your nervous system. Constant pressure on your feet can cause nerve damage, tingling, numbness, even permanent neuropathy. The brain, bombarded by pain, becomes hypersensitive, amplifying every ache. Cognitive function plummets, confusion, poor judgment, brain fog. You may not recognize your own danger. Sensory deprivation can trigger hallucinations. Your brain invents input to fill the void. Navigating pain and disorientation demands extreme mental stability. The nervous system and mind are pushed to their limits. The fallout is both physical and psychological. Enduring this is a true test of human resilience. Beyond nerves and blood, other systems begin to fail. Muscles break down, releasing toxins that can overwhelm your kidneys. Rhabdomyolysis. Hormones surge, especially cortisol, wrecking your immune system and sleep. The lymphatic system stalls, swelling worsens, waste builds up. Every system is stressed: circulation, nerves, muscles, kidneys, hormones. Problems compound, spiraling towards systemic failure. This isn't just a test of willpower, it's a multi-system assault. The risks are predictable, not just possible. Recovery is long and difficult. Standing still for 24 hours is a dangerous defiance of biology. Guinness World Records doesn't have a category for standing perfectly still. The most relevant record is for longest time standing. The current record holder stood for 39 hours, but the rules allow for small movements. This sidesteps the core challenge of absolute immobility. Guinness doesn't have a record for standing perfectly still due to the extreme medical risks. The closest record emphasizing stillness is in military tradition. These guards are famous for their motionless discipline, but even their stillness is not absolute. Forcing the body to remain perfectly frozen is a fundamentally unsafe endeavor. The only way to survive standing for extreme durations is to not stand perfectly still. A 24-hour motionless stand is likely beyond what can be safely attempted. Performance art has embraced stillness for exploring endurance and the human condition. David Blaine, renowned for feats of self-denial, once lived in a plexiglass box over the Thames for 44 days with only water, demonstrating endurance. Taiching Zie's one-year performances are legendary. In his timepiece, he punched a time clock every hour for a year. These artists use their bodies as the medium. Pain and anguish are part of the art. A performance artist standing still for 24 hours is making a statement. The act becomes a commentary on discipline and the limits of human perception. These endeavors provide anecdotal evidence for the possibility of such a feat. They employ meditative practices and have immense pain tolerance, honed through years of training. Driven by a deep artistic purpose, they transcend the limits of physical suffering. In the 21st century, the theater for extreme endurance has expanded from art galleries to the global stage of the internet. The rise of platforms like YouTube and TikTok has given birth to a new wave of viral challenges, where creators attempt incredible feats for views and notoriety. The 24-hour standing still challenge has become a recurring theme, with numerous individuals documenting their attempts. These videos provide a raw, unfiltered look at the reality of the struggle. We see the initial confidence, the creeping boredom, the onset of pain, and, in most cases, the inevitable failure. These attempts, while not scientifically rigorous, serve as compelling public experiments. Watching these viral challenges unfold is, honestly, incredibly revealing. Most participants are woefully unprepared for the severity of the physical and mental toll. They often focus on the boredom, setting up cameras and interacting with viewers to pass the time. But within a few hours, the physical reality sets in. We see them grimacing in pain, their legs trembling, and their resolve crumbling. Very few make it past the 8 or 12-hour mark without either quitting or breaking the perfectly still rule by shifting, stretching, or sitting. These videos are a powerful testament to just how much harder the challenge is than it sounds, serving as a cautionary tale for anyone who might underestimate it. On the more scientific end of the spectrum, researchers have conducted controlled studies on the effects of prolonged standing, though rarely for a full 24 hours due to ethical concerns. Occupational health studies, for instance, monitor workers who stand for 8-hour shifts, meticulously documenting the progression of edema, muscle fatigue, and circulatory strain. These experiments use tools like ultrasound to visualize blood pooling and electromyography to measure muscle activity. The data from these studies provides the hard science that backs up the anecdotal experiences of challenge participants, confirming that the physiological breakdown is real, measurable, and begins surprisingly quickly. Ultimately, the combination of viral challenges and scientific studies paints a comprehensive picture. The viral attempts show us the raw human experience of the challenge, demonstrating that even with immense motivation, the physical reality is often too much to bear. The scientific studies explain why it's so difficult, providing a medical basis for the pain and risk involved. While a few extraordinary individuals like performance artists or highly trained specialists might theoretically possess the mental and physical conditioning to approach the 24-hour mark, the overwhelming evidence suggests that for the vast majority of people, standing perfectly still for a full day is a feat that pushes the body far beyond its safe and practical limits. So, after this deep dive, we come back to our original question: can a human being stand perfectly still for 24 hours? The answer, in the strictest sense, is almost certainly no. The human body is simply not built for it. The physiological consequences are the predictable outcomes of defying our biological design. The body's own protective mechanisms would likely force movement or unconsciousness. However, if we relax the definition slightly to remaining upright with minimal movement, the question becomes more nuanced. This is where the challenge moves into the domain of the mind. We see glimpses of this potential in the incredible feats of endurance artists. This highlights the central paradox of the challenge. Ultimately, standing perfectly still for 24 hours is a feat that likely sits just beyond the edge of human capability, but perilous to attempt. Our biology has its own non-negotiable limits. We are creatures built for motion. Let's quickly recap the incredible journey we've been on, from the first deceptively easy minutes to the final grueling hours. We started by exploring the immediate physical assault. We saw how gravity becomes the main antagonist, causing blood to pool in the lower legs, leading to painful swelling, or edema. We learned that without the calf muscle pump, which is activated by movement, our circulatory system faces a crisis, forcing the heart to work harder, and putting the entire cardiovascular system under immense strain. The initial hours transform from a test of patience into a battle against joint compression and profound muscle fatigue, as the body protests this unnatural state of stillness. Next, we ventured into the battlefield of the mind, a challenge arguably more daunting than the physical one. We confronted the sheer soul-crushing boredom and the mental prison created by a lack of stimulation. The mind, starved for input, can begin to play tricks, leading to mild hallucinations or distorted perceptions. We explored the strategies that endurance experts use to combat this, such as disassociation, mentally escaping the situation, or extreme association, focusing on a single point to an almost meditative degree. We recognized that conquering the endless stream of pain signals and the overwhelming urge to quit requires a will of iron and a deep, unshakable source of motivation. Then we delved into the hard science and the surprising, life-threatening risks involved. This is where the challenge moved from being merely difficult to being genuinely dangerous. We uncovered the severe threat of deep vein thrombosis, where blood clots can form in the legs with potentially fatal consequences if they travel to the lungs. We examined the high probability of fainting from orthostatic hypotension, as blood pressure plummets due to poor circulation to the brain. We also uncovered hidden dangers like rhabdomyolysis, where muscle tissue breaks down and releases toxins that can lead to acute kidney failure, a silent and severe internal threat. Finally, we looked at real-world attempts, from the official records of Guinness to the raw, unfiltered world of viral internet challenges and the boundary-pushing domain of performance art. We learned that official records for standing always allow for small, crucial movements, implicitly acknowledging the dangers of absolute stillness. Viral challenges often end in failure, serving as public cautionary tales about the challenge's true difficulty. It is only in the world of performance art, driven by deep purpose and extreme discipline, that we see individuals who might come close to enduring such an ordeal, using their bodies to explore the very limits of human consciousness and physical tolerance. After detailing the immense pain, psychological torment, and life-threatening risks, why are we so fascinated by these extreme limits? It's the same spirit that drives a mountaineer to the summit of Everest, or an explorer to the deepest trenches of the ocean. We are a species defined by our relentless need to ask, what if, and then to find out. By pushing our bodies and minds, we learn about our own physiology and psychology in a way that everyday life could never teach us. It reminds us that we are biological machines designed to interact with our world, to move through it, and that our health is intrinsically linked to this fundamental capacity for action. I hope this journey has sparked your own curiosity to look at the world around you with a fresh sense of wonder. The world is full of amazing things to discover, and sometimes the most fascinating discoveries are the ones we make about ourselves.